Hi guys, welcome back to the top 20 most influential people in world history. This is part 2, so let's get right into it. At 10, it is Siddhartha Gautama, or Buddha. Siddhartha Gautama was a sage on whose teachings Buddhism was founded. Born in the Shakya Republic in the Himalayan foothills, he is believed to have lived and taught mostly in eastern India sometime between the 6th and 4th centuries BC. So yeah, fairly influential people. Founded Buddhism. It's now a worldwide religion. I mean, you can't get much better than that. Number 9, Muhammad. If you know anything about Islam, you'll know why there isn't a picture of a person there. Muhammad was a man from Mecca who unified Arabia into a single religious polity under Islam. Believed by Muslims and Baha'is to be a messenger and prophet of God, Muhammad is also universally considered by Muslims as the last prophet sent by God to mankind. While non-Muslims regard Muhammad as the founder of Islam, Muslims consider him to have restored the unaltered original monotheistic faith of Adam, Noah, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and other prophets. So again, fairly influential person, founder of Islam. So yeah, Muslims, yeah. Number 8, Saint Paul the Apostle. Another religious person here. Saint Paul, 5 to 67 AD, was an apostle, though not one of the 12 apostles, who was with Jesus, who taught the gospel of Christ to the first century world. He's generally considered one of the most important figures of the apostolic age. In the 30s and mid-50s, he founded several churches in Asia Minor and Europe. Paul used his status as both a Jew and a Roman citizen to advantage in his ministry to both Jewish and Roman audiences. So he's a missionary, basically. He's a guy that spread Judaism, I guess. 7, a non-religious person this time. Well, not famous for his religion anyway. Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci, 15th of April 1452 to 2nd of May 1519, was an Italian Renaissance polymath. A polymath is a painter, sculptor, architect, musician, mathematician, engineer, inventor, anatomist, geologist, cartographer, botanist, and writer. I don't know what a cartographer and a botanist is, but if you do, put it down in the comments. His genius, perhaps more than that of any other figure, epitomized the Renaissance humanist ideal. Leonardo has often been described as the archetype of the Renaissance man, a man of unquenchable curiosity and feverishly inventive imagination. He is widely considered to be one of the greatest painters of all time, and perhaps the most diversely talented person ever to have lived. According to art historian Helen Gardner, the scope and depth of his interests were without precedent, and his mind and personality seemed to us superhuman, the man himself mysterious and remote. Marco Rossi states that while there is much speculation about Leonardo, his vision of the world is essentially logical rather than mysterious, and that the empirical methods he employed were unusual for his time. So he's just an all-round clever guy, more clever than Einstein. Yeah, more clever than Einstein. Can't get much better than that. And he designed lots of stuff. He was an inventor, yes, which is one of his more famous parts, along with his painter. So yeah, Leonardo da Vinci. 6, Homer. Homer, 8th century BC, we don't know when abouts in that 100-year slot, but sometime in there, Homer lived and died. Homer is the author of the Iliad and the Odyssey, and is referred as the greatest of Greek epic poets. These epics lie at the beginning of the Western canon of literature, and have had an enormous influence on the history of literature. The Western canon of literature is like the rebirth of literature, really, in the Western world, really. So speaks for itself, really. I don't know what the Iliad is about, but I know that the Odyssey is about Ulysses and his trip. So yeah, may not have been very influential, but he's a great person overall. So yeah, another Greek guy now, I think. Yeah, he might be Greek, I'm not sure. Might say on the next slide, but it's Archimedes. Archimedes was an ancient Greek. Yep, he was ancient Greek. Mathematician, physicist, engineer, inventor, and astronomer. He's generally considered the greatest mathematician of antiquity and one of the greatest of all time. He had many inventions, like a screw that you'd stick the end in water and twist it, and it would transport the water up to the top and deposit it. It was originally designed for irrigating fields. He also made a claw that sat underwater, and then when a ship went over, someone in a tower would push down on the lever, and it would come up and grab hold of the ship, spike it in the bottom, grab it, and then a boulder would roll out of the tower along the pole and knock it down, and it would be sunk. So not the best way to go. And he invented this thing that would reflect sunlight so precisely it could set things on fire. So Archimedes was basically a really good inventor, but he also found out lots of other stuff. But those are some of his inventions which I learned earlier on today. So yeah, Archimedes at number 5. At number 4, another ancient Greek, Herodicus. Herodicus was a Greek physician of the 5th century BC and a native of Selymbria. The first use of therapeutic exercise for the treatment of disease and maintenance of health is credited to him, and he is believed to have been one of the tutors of Hippocrates, another really famous Greek guy. He also recommended good diet and massage using beneficial herbs and oils, and his theories are considered the foundation of sports and medicine. He was specific in the manner that a massage should be given. He recommended that rubbing be initially slow and gentle, then subsequently faster, with the application of more pressure, which was to be followed by more gentle friction. So basically, he was very precise and really good at medicine. Herodicus is also described as a gymnastic master and sophist. According to Plato, another really famous guy, Herodicus recommended that his patients walk from Athens to Megara, a distance of a little more than 20 miles. So yeah, he was a fairly active doctor, a really famous doctor, sports doctor. Number 3, Christopher Columbus. You've all heard of him, I guess. Christopher Columbus was an Italian explorer, navigator and colonizer born in the Republic of Genoa, today part of Italy, under the auspices of the Catholic monarchs of Spain. He completed 4 voyages across the Atlantic Ocean. Those voyages and his efforts to establish permanent settlements on the island of Hispaniola initiated the Spanish colonization of the New World. He made the rest of Europe aware of the New World's presence. So, Christopher Columbus, He's credited for discovering America, but the Vikings actually discovered it ages before. But he's responsible for all the Europeans settling in there. Yeah, Christopher Columbus, a really famous navigator. Number 2, Sir Isaac Newton. Right, I haven't typed that up right, but Isaac Newton was an English physicist and mathematician who is widely recognised as one of the most influential scientists of all time, and as a key figure in the scientific revolution. His book, Philosophiae Naturalis Principia Mathematica, Mathematical Principles of Natural Philosophy, first published in 1687, laid the foundations for classic mechanics. Newton also made seminal contributions to optics and shares credit with Gottfried Leibniz for the invention of the calculus. So yes, he's a really good mathematician. And other scientific mathematic discoveries: Isaac Newton. And at number 1, Jesus Christ. Jesus, 0 to 33, is a central figure of Christianity whom the teachings of most Christian dominations hold to be the Son of God. Christianity regards Jesus as the awaited Messiah of the Old Testament and refers to him as Jesus Christ. Jesus founded the most widely followed religion in the world. So, and you'd know that if you had watched one of my previous videos. However shocking, this is all true. So Jesus Christ in at number 1, and I couldn't really round off there, so I made a list of people who I considered putting on this list but didn't quite make it. Hippocrates, an ancient Greek physician which I mentioned earlier. Thomas Jefferson, credited as founder of America. Mother Teresa, Roman Catholic religious sister and missionary. Napoleon Bonaparte, French military and political leader. Adolf Hitler, German politician and leader of the Nazi Party. Moses, a religious leader. Walt Disney, a top businessman. Louis Pasteur, French chemist and microbiologist, who discovered pasteurization. Imhotep, an ancient Egyptian architect who designed the first pyramid. Charles Darwin, the English naturalist and geologist who is credited with the idea of evolution. Sigmund Freud, a Austrian neurologist, and Galileo Galilei, Italian physicist, mathematician, engineer, astronomer and philosopher. So these people didn't quite make it because the other people I put on were more influential. But yeah, these guys are not to be forgotten. They were also really influential people. So yeah, you've seen my top 20 over 2 episodes. So if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like it, and do tell me who else you're sitting there thinking, what about this person? Or how about you are probably thinking, what about Augustus Caesar or something like that? I don't know, but do put it in the comments and tell me. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.